Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to go through some funny behind the scenes moments and bloopers from Amazon's Rings of Power. But before we get on with it, don't forget to like and subscribe for more funny videos just like this. Let's get on with it. One of the best scenes from the Lord of the Rings prequel, The Rings of Power, has gotta be how the show's title was created. Despite looking like complete CGI, this behind the scenes clip shows that the studio used practical effects to make the epic intro for the Rings of Power series. Ismael Cruz, who plays Elf Arendir, and Nazanin Boniadi revealed that they put a lot of time and stunt work into preparing for episode 6 of the series. Bronwyn, Nazanin's character, had to lead the Southlanders against the Orcs, and they had to do a lot of preparation and rehearsals into the night behind the scenes with director Charlotte Brandstorm. And it turned out great because of all this work.
On episode 6, it was epic, directed by the great Charlotte Brandstorm. There's a lot of preparation for that. It was a lot of rehearsals, a lot of emotional digging, because it's kind of the cathartic Southland moment.
It's a lot of stunt training. A lot of emotions on my part. In fact, I think Charlotte at one point said, "Naz, you're off camera, you can stop crying." It was very intense, but also, like you said, hugely cathartic to do those scenes. The whole season for us has been sort of a battle to overcome.
Lloyd Owen revealed during an MTV interview that the cast of the series had to wait 3 months for the beautiful kingdom of Numenor to be built before they could start filming. To understand the scale of the set, Lloyd added that they built real canals where boats were going down, similar to those seen in Venice, Italy.
For me, it was the Kingdom of Numenor, and we waited about 3 months for it to be built on the back lot, and just walking onto that particular set was absolutely phenomenal experience in terms of the size of it, the scale, the roads they built. They even built canals with boats going down it like Venice.
Charlie Vickers dished on how enjoyable and tiring it was filming The Rings of Power on set. The actor said playing Halbrand was an epic experience and gushed about how he got to ride through the forest on horseback, chasing a motorcycle that was filming him.
Doing the physical things of being able to ride a horse through a forest really fast, and you're chasing a motorbike filming you, and then there's a Porsche with like a huge camera on it driving along the side of you, and you're charging through all these trees. The process of doing that is jaw-dropping, and that was when I sort of was like, wow, this is happening.
It was amazing.
After the mountain erupts, Galadriel is left wondering what is left of the Southlands when she finds Tyro's character Theo. This behind-the-scenes clip, set in a warehouse set, shows just how the show's production team pulled off the orange look at the beginning of episode 7. And man, is it cool.
Since there was this big event at the end of 6, it created a very special look to episode 7 as well, because it was a world covered in ashes. It was like this orange color, and the orcs obviously had turned the Southlands into Mordor in order to be able to live there and not being burned by the sun anymore.
The endurance test, performed by Robert Arameo's Elrond and Owain Arthur's Prince Durin, was a fan favourite scene for many Lord of the Rings fans. Robert said behind the scenes it was fun filming the exhausting scene since they were using fake rocks made of breakable materials, and not really breaking real rock.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was really, really, really fun. And there was all kinds of different elements to that. You know, there's the scale work in particular. Rocks that would break when you hit them.
As opposed to watching them wouldn't.
Made a special, made a special way so we could break them.
Okay.
I don't know the materials.
No, I was just wondering what you were hitting, because...
Markella Kavanagh, who plays Nori, revealed that behind the scenes she and Daniel Wayman didn't really eat the snails during episode 2. During the Rings of Power deadline interview, Markella said the snail she was eating looked so real, but it was just a lollipop covered in sugary syrup, while Daniel's snail shell was actually chocolate.
Did both of you eat snails Because those are some really big snails.
Yes, I did eat a lot of snails. But they were actually, it was like lollies. It was so sugary, and there was like this really sweet syrup that was on over them. And
were they made of chocolate?
No.
Oh no!
I wish they were. But Daniel had to eat them as well, and because he had to eat the shells almost, they were made out of chocolate. So he had this like beautiful chocolate. And he'd be like, "This is amazing, Mark. So this is so beautiful."
Director Charlotte Brandstorm explained that she and Cynthia Adai Robinson had a lot of talks behind the scenes about her character, Queen Regent Muriel, becoming blind. Charlotte said she and Cynthia wanted to portray Muriel as a strong character after she became blind.
And I tried to take with Muriel when she was actually crying, when she realized that she was blind and everything. She was a beautiful take. But it wasn't as moving because it became a bit melodramatic because she felt sorry for herself. So we worked very hard on her performance in making her strong. And because she was so courageous, it made me tear up almost seeing her.
Tyrone Mahafidin reveals his ritual on the set of The Rings of Power before that helped him to get into character. According to Ty, he always got cranky and had a bad day if he didn't drink his up and go, so he made sure to have one every time he was on set. As he described, he is one diva.
Diva, yeah. Flavoured milk.
Little prima donna, give me my flavoured milk. Yeah.
Every day without fail.
One day I had a really good day on set and I just had an up and go walking on and I was like, nah, I'm doing it every time. Every day. And then I remember one day I was having a terrible day. I talked to Sally and I was like, I don't know what's going on. She's like, you didn't have your up and go today. And I was like, and then from there I made sure, I'm like, put it in my schedule. I have to have it.
Charlotte Brandstorm told Deadline that turning the Southlands into Mordor for episode 7 of The Rings of Power was not easy. After finding all the locations, the special effects team would have to ash part of it, but when it got windy, the ash particles would get in people's ears and clothes.
When we found locations, we had to actually ash up at least part of the whole location. Like a special colored, very thin paper that is just spread out everywhere. It was a huge job from special effects. And then it was hard because if it was windy, those particles gets in everywhere, in your eyes, your clothes, and everywhere. So you have to wet them down a bit. But it looked amazing.
Behind the scenes of The Rings of Power revealed David Wayman's spectacular acting on the Amazon series where he played the Stranger. David was walking barefoot during the episode 8 scene where he leaves the Harfoots community to go out on his own.
You could say he is now leaving that behind and going out into the world. But, I think as he holds on to the apple, I think friendship, again, is an important thing as he considers eating it.
Cynthia Adai Robinson, who plays Queen Regent Muriel of Numenor, said her first day on set was so nerve-wracking because filming had already begun before they came on set. To add to that, Cynthia said that she had to get on top of a mountain on a helicopter for the first time ever.
I feel like I've said this multiple times just because, again, I sort of joined a little bit later, so in a way, the production, the crew, the cast, there was a bit of a rhythm going. And so it was sort of like new kid at school. And I have to ride this helicopter, and I think I'm gonna throw up in the helicopter, embarrass myself, shame myself, in front of these people.
Ismael Cruz Cordova, who plays Arondir and Nazanin Boniadi, Bronwyn, revealed that they cried a lot behind the scenes of the show. She explained that sometimes they became overwhelmed with emotions when helicopters would take them up to beautiful mountaintops just to film scenes.
And there was a scene where Ismael and I had to, I should know how to say your name properly, but
It's fine.
3 years later, got on a helicopter to go to the top of a mountain that would have taken 4 days to hike up. And when we got there, it was like, you look and it's like you're in the middle of the clouds, and it's like, welcome to Tolkien's world, welcome to Middle Earth. It just felt like so grand and epic on many levels. And I think all of us at one point, did you shed tears maybe?
I've shed tears.
I shed tears.
In these behind-the-scenes photos, we can see Ismael Cruz Cordova, who plays Arondir, going about his own stunts while performing during the forest scene. You can see him running right here. Ismael said before that playing the elf on The Rings of Power required a lot of stunt work and physical effort on his part.
Somebody like Ismael, for example, who plays Arondir, he came to this world not necessarily knowing where his place was in it. It's not a world that really may have felt like it was available to everybody.
Those behind-the-scenes clips bring us to the end of today's video on The Rings of Power. What was your favourite moment behind the scenes from the cast? Share it with us down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this. We'll see you in the next one.